I'm parched for a long drink of good health. Even a little sip now and then would suffice. To escape one's DNA needs more than stealth. My birthright is ill health, for which I pay the price. Brian is the love of my life.
We met in an office building. We kind of locked eyes and met and we talked.
I think from the moment that I met him, my life has never been the same since.
And so we started to get to know each other. And at one point she turned around to me and said, "I've got some things to tell you." So she told me favourite food, favourite music. Oh, and by the way, I've got Gaucher disease. What's Gaucher disease?
I was diagnosed in 1968. I had a very enlarged spleen and I was very pale. I bruised very easily. I had terrible nosebleeds, one of which lasted for 6 hours, and I ended up in hospital. It was horrific. Back then, the only way for testing Gaucher disease was a sternum puncture, which is an extremely painful procedure, usually done under anaesthetic. So the doctors were standing around my bedside and they said that I probably wouldn't live much past puberty. I know it sounds strange to say that I wasn't frightened to hear the prognosis, but it was more reassuring that finally they knew what was wrong with me. It was frustrating that there was no treatment, but thankfully today one can have a blood test and a quick diagnosis.
When I saw Elaine and got to know Elaine, she was early 20s. And as far as I could see, she was fit and healthy.
So despite being diagnosed with Gaucher disease, I started working and married Brian, and we started a family.
When the effects started showing on Elaine was after our daughter was born. All of a sudden she was having very bad bone pains, and combined with that there was fatigue.
Sometime afterwards we heard about a Gaucher clinic being opened. This was big news because we'd never heard of any clinic before specialising in Gaucher.
She got on a treatment first of all that was great. She was having it by infusion, and then later on a treatment became available that means she can now have it at home.
A nurse comes to my house once every 2 weeks. I don't spend countless hours in hospital. I'm in the comfort of my own home, and having the same nurses is a nice feeling.
Elaine was going along on treatment quite nicely, and then at the age of 44 she was diagnosed with young onset Parkinson's. This was a life changer.
Well, staying positive when you've been diagnosed with one disease is one thing. Staying positive when you've been diagnosed with a second disease is slightly harder.
The only thing I can do is try and make her life easier.
Brian does an awful lot for me. He has to do the grocery shopping. He helps shower me and dress me and pretty much everything.
I look at my life and I think, what would my life be without Elaine? And two images come to mind. One of them is empty and the other one is boring. This is what we got. Make the most of it.
Gaucher and Parkinson don't define who I am, but they have given me purpose in life to express myself and also to help others. If those doctors that stood around the bedside of a 5-year-old girl giving the grim prognosis that I wouldn't live past puberty, if they could see me now at age 51 and having done all that I have and achieved in my life, I wonder what they would make of this, because it's been quite a journey, but a journey I wouldn't have missed for anything. If given lemons, make lemonade. How true a saying is this. I enjoy the life that I have made, no opportunity or moment missed.